You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, everybody, to Earth Oddity Podcast. Once again, my name's John. I'm here with my good friend, Tiny.
Hello.
And we are about to bring you the greatest podcast you've ever heard in your entire life.
According to Ms. Long.
According to my mom. Or the world's worst podcast in the world, according to Tiny's wife.
She would never tell me that, but she would probably tell all y'all that if you asked her.
As always, we're glad to have you here. Thanks for pressing play, downloading, and listening. We appreciate everybody. You should join our Patreon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's growing. We have a growing Patreon community.
We do.
And hit us up on all our social media. Instagram was popping this week. Got 2 pictures up this week. One of which I made myself.
That's dedication.
That hadn't happened in a long time. So, just mosey on over to _Earth Oddity at Instagram and check that out. So,
thanks for joining our Facebook group.
Yeah, thanks for joining our Facebook group. That's popping off, too. A lot of fun in there.
Thanks for joining our Discord.
Yeah, you can join the Discord. I have no idea how to tell you how to do that.
There'll be a link in the show notes.
There'll be a link in the show notes. And you can interact with Tiny and I in real time if I check it regularly. Sometimes I forget I have the app on my phone.
Now that we've completely flipped our show and did all that at the front of the episode.
No, I don't think you understand, Tiny. Sometimes it's good to plug stuff at the beginning while they're still listening.
Is.
It
absolutely is.
When you play the intro to the community news segment, there's probably some people fast forwarding, if I got to be honest with it.
I'm sure there is, yes.
So we're brought to you by Cajun Curl. Buy you blended spice. You can order it at CajunCurl.com. Check it out, okay?
Do you like Twitter?
Yeah.
You can follow us on Twitter at _Earth Oddity.
That's right. Let's just go ahead and hit up the phone calls right now. Let's do the whole show backwards. So did you have an amazing week or an average week?
I had a pretty amazing week.
Okay.
Despite the fact of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
With tigers on the loose.
That's
in
right.
Knoxville. And
yeah, we do have tigers on the loose.
Netflix trying to normalize kitty.
I've skirted around that.
Yeah.
Like people are like, hey, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I don't trust people online to tell me what anything is. But then again, I'm not going to go watch the movie.
Right.
Because I don't want to end up on some sort of watch list or have my house raided, I
was about to say, the day all that broke, I did go and look on Twitter at the hashtag cancel Netflix and just what everyone was saying.
Yeah.
And they were posting clips, and it looks to me like it's basically Toddlers and Tiaras.
Okay.
Taken way too, as if Toddlers and Tiaras wasn't far enough.
I can't watch this show.
Film is taking it way past that.
I ruined a friendship for Deidre with one of her longtime friends.
Yeah.
When her daughter was starting to do like beauty pageants and stuff, and she was posting everything, and I was her friend on Facebook, and I was just like, can't take it. And I unfriended her. And she got mad. Her and Deidre aren't friends anymore because of it. Because
you don't like pictures of her little kid dressed up in...
They would get them photoshopped with like adult-looking teeth and stuff in her. Dang. It was weird. So weird stuff. But what she didn't know is that Deidre Long is a ride or die for John Long. Like, you can be like, well, we ain't talking no more because your husband did something. And Deidre be like, that's fine. That's my husband. And so, she's on the outside now, whatever. Mm-hmm. She can't get back in. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm not into kids. I'm not into any weird kid stuff.
Right.
I won't even check it out. I'm also not canceling Netflix. Just to go on record, too. Okay?
I'm flirting with the idea of canceling Netflix, But I'm just going to be honest. Once season 3 of Cobra Kai drops,
Right.
I'm probably going to be resubscribing.
That's what they like. There's probably a lot of stuff on Netflix I don't agree with.
Yeah.
You know? And so I don't want to. I mean, I get maybe this isn't the stance to take, but I don't want to look too deep into it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to enjoy the stuff I enjoy.
It's like you want to be ignorant
Right.
of what's going on. Yeah.
Well, I also would ask everyone to go ahead and cancel their internet subscriptions because there's all kind of stuff on there that is problematic. Okay. I mean, let's go ahead.
Really?
And, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, I've heard about it. Got a story that kind of relates to it later on too. So yeah. Y'all just, if you want to draw the hard line, go ahead and draw the hard line. I want to see y'all get off the internet. Football's back too, by the way.
Yes.
People don't know out there. Football's back.
Now, for football to get canceled, it's going to take a lot more than concussions.
Right. No. That's too much money in that for them to cancel football. And for me to ever cancel football.
Right.
People are like, are you watching NFL? I'm like, heck yeah, I'm watching the NFL. And they're like, well, what about all this? I'm like, man, I don't tie all that stuff up with it, you know?
What would they have to do? Would they have to be like beheading people at halftime? Or would you
That
still
would be
watch
awesome.
it?
That would be awesome.
Like the losing team. They're like number one fan. They take them out there on the field and cut their head off in front of everybody.
That would be awesome. Like the Jets guy that always wears the like fire helmet that's painted, him coming out there and having to get his head cut off. That'd be tough. No, I mean, they would probably have to like really go hard line, like, we hate Jesus,
right? For
me to ever just stop, like political stuff. I mean, I don't
it's
care.
cool for them to hate Jesus as long as they don't tell us they hate Jesus.
Well, I don't know that football hates or likes Jesus. I feel like it's a-religious to a certain degree.
Right.
Now, they probably still say the Lord's Prayer before they come out. Just about every football team in the history of the world will say the Lord's Prayer in the locker room. So,
yeah.
We had a linebacker at Alabama back in the 90s. His name was Salim Rashid. And he was Muslim. And I always wondered what he did when they were saying the Lord's Prayer. Was he just like, well, let me just stand here? Or do I go outside? Or what?
I don't know.
I don't either. All our Muslim listeners, let me know. What would you do?
Yeah, what John Long, what would you do if they were saying some kind of
Muslim
prayer? I would honestly, I would probably just sit there.
First of all, I'd be like, what y'all saying? Because I don't speak any dialect of Arabic language.
Well, they still pray in their native tongue, don't they?
I don't know. Do they?
Well, I would. Okay.
Look, all I know is I had a friend of mine who served in the Gulf War.
Yeah.
And they raided a bunker one time, and he got a prayer as a cassette tape. And we would ride around,
listen to
just blaring it as loud as we could. And the funny thing is, his Facebook got hacked this week, and I was like, "Dude, ISIS is getting you back for riding around with that, stealing that prayer tape, riding around with it."
I have no idea, but I would just assume that you pray in whatever language you talk. I know that the Catholic Church, sometimes won't they have like Latin prayers, but even they've kind of stepped away from that somewhat, haven't they?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I know you got to take a test to get in.
Jacqueline and Brandon, do y'all pray in Latin or do y'all pray in English?
I imagine there's probably a mix of both. There's probably some old school,
Jacqueline might pray in French.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't know.
But I would think if I was in the locker room and like I'm playing whatever they play in the Middle East soccer, I guess. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, we're going to do our prayer. And I'm like a Christian. I just be like, well, y'all do your thing. I'll just stand right here.
Yeah, I'll stand here and quietly say the Lord's Prayer to myself while y'all do y'all's thing.
And I'll be like, all right, then let's go out and kick some butt.
And we can go out there and go team.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what most normal people would do, right?
I would like to think so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to start. I also would be like, all right, guys, I'm not going to start like hanging up crosses all over the locker room or anything. And, I'm not going to be pushing myself on you. But, hey, I'm open to any conversation you want to have. And I would have a lot of questions, too, because I've known a lot of different people in the world, but not that many who were of the Muslim faith.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to make you mad, but my God can beat up your God.
Yeah. We're not going to get into that debate with them, right? I think I'd start with Abraham. Man, why did he mess it up? Let's talk about Abraham.
Okay, my religious tradition, we think Isaac was the chosen one, but y'all feel differently.
Right,
y'all think it was Ishmael.
Yeah.
Who could beat who in a fight?
I was saying, Abraham didn't take Ishmael up to sacrifice,
Right.
So maybe we're right. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I get into all that. Anyways.
Speaking of odd news.
Let's talk of odd news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of stories you got this week?
Ole Miss made a PR blunder of epic proportions. Ole Miss, for people around the world.
Did they get a new mascot?
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
Third time's a charm. Oh, wait, no, fourth time's a charm.
Ole Miss, for those around the world, is the University of Mississippi. And they are a fellow participant in the Southeastern Conference, the greatest coalition of football teams that the world has ever known. And
they have a great football tradition of regularly changing mascots.
True, yeah. I was going to say they have a great football tradition up to about 1965.
Right.
And then after that, well, once integration started, Ole Miss hadn't been that great. It was weird. They were waving red flags in the stands up until like the 90s, and they were wondering why we couldn't get any good athletes to come there and play. I don't know. So I got that story. What about you?
Well, John, I have a plethora of animal attack stories this week.
Okay.
Very concerning.
All right. There's an all-out war?
Apparently so.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
People have been on top for a long time.
That's right.
And I feel like the animals, they figured out that people are getting kind of squeamish about taking them out, about fighting back.
That's right.
We got folks that are going vegetarian and then wanting to outdo that and go vegan because we don't want to
do anything to animals.
Don't want to do anything to animals. And the animals are like, now is our time.
This is it.
This is our moment.
We strike at dawn.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to talk about tigers. We're going to talk about mosquitoes, but I'm going to start with this one. Scientists are baffled by orcas who are ramming into sailboats near Spain and Portugal.
Okay. Orcas are killer whales, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, we don't use that kind of terminology no more.
Oh, for real? Is that not PC? I don't know. Right.
I really don't know. I just assume that's why.
Killer whale is like a great name. If I was a whale, I would want to be a killer whale. Like imagine being like a humpback or even a sperm whale. And you're like, man, I wish I could be a killer whale.
I wonder why killer whale imagery hasn't been like embraced more in like naval weapons and stuff,
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like if you had a submarine, you could paint that thing like a killer whale. That'd be awesome.
It would be. I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess so. This would be work for
they are incredible predators.
Yeah, they are.
And they're taking those.
And now they're coming after us.
They're coming after sailboats. All
right, I'm interested to hear.
Scientists have been left baffled by incidents of orcas ramming sailboats along the Spanish and Portuguese coast. In the last 2 months, from southern to northern Spain, sailors have sent distress calls after worrying encounters. 2 boats lost parts of their rudders. At least 1 crew member suffered bruising from the impact of a ramming, and several boats sustained serious damage. The latest incidents occurred on Friday afternoon just off A Coruña maybe?
Sounds right.
On the northern coast of Spain, Halcyon Yachts was taking a 36-foot boat to the UK when an orca rammed its stern at least 15 times.
Wow.
Okay, once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, but 15 times?
That's
This thing's hungry.
Yeah, right.
According to Pete Green, the company's managing director, the boat lost steering and was towed into port to assess the damage. They had to get a tow. They couldn't even make it back.
That's tough.
Around the same time, there were radio warnings of orca sightings 70 miles south of Vigo near the site of at least 2 recent collisions. On August 30th, a French-flagged vessel radioed the Coast Guard to say that it was under attack from killer whales. Wouldn't you love to get that message?
Yeah. If you're the Coast Guard, you're like, oh, man. But really, you might be like, now we get to try all this cool stuff out we got.
Yeah. We get to blow dust off these harpoons that we retired back in the 1950s.
Make sure that rope's still good on it.
Later that day, a Spanish naval yacht, Merfac.
Okay, easy, Tiny. Easy, Tiny. Let Kevin sniff that one out.
Lost part of its rudder after an encounter with orcas under the stern. Highly intelligent social mammals, orcas are the largest of the dolphin family. Researchers who study a small population in the Strait of Gibraltar say they are curious and it is normal for them to follow a boat closely, even to interact with a rudder. but never with the force suggested here. The Spanish maritime authorities warned vessels to keep a distance, but reports from sailors around the strait say that July and August suggest that this may be difficult. I mean, if a killer whale wants to get close to your boat, it can probably do it, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Unless you're in like a speedboat.
Yeah. I don't know. This thing's probably, killer whale, apparently I just found out is the largest of the dolphin family. That's something I could probably move on pretty good, I would imagine.
I see.
What's the top speed of an orca?
Well, it says 48.3 kilometers an hour. So.
Okay. All right. That sounds, I'm American,
so I have no idea I have no idea how fast that is.
I think 100 kilometers is around 60 miles per hour.
15. No. This doesn't make any sense. This little infograph I'm looking at says its top speed is 48.3, but it feels like 15. So why?
15 knots? I don't know.
15 kilometers.
Oh.
So
I don't know.
They're traveling so fast that it seems like they're going slower.
I wasn't prepared for a word problem.
I would say it's comparing all these different marine animals, and it's got them kind of in the middle there. So.
Yeah. What's the fastest marine animal? Well, do you still got it, or do you X out of it?
It says now. I'm sure this isn't the fastest, but they got a bluefin tuna on here. They say that their top speed is 70 kilometers an hour.
Okay, all right.
So
that's pretty good.
I mean, you can outrun an orca.
If it's on land, I guarantee I'd outrun that bad boy.
Although, wait a minute, down here, a swordfish. It says that a swordfish has a top speed of 97 kilometers.
All right, swordfish kind of freak me out. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what if you're swimming around and one of those things just comes and pokes you right in the gut? You know, well, there's nothing you can do. You're dead.
Swordfish and sailfish, not the same fish. Sailfish they have a top speed of 110 kilometers.
Okay.
So You know what? Orcas really aren't that fast.
No.
They're slow.
I feel like there's like a guy fishing in a tournament right now. I was like, I can outrun that in my bass boat. I got a 350 Evinrude on the back of this.
How have they got to the top of the food chain in the ocean being as slow as they are?
Well, big. They're big.
They are big.
Mm-hmm. They're smart.
They are.
So that's kind of been the formula for a lot of things to get to the top of the food chain.
I guess because people, they're not that fast. Right? At least not compared to the rest of the animal kingdom.
Right. But we're smart. We're smarter than we are fast.
Yes.
So
that's an excellent point, John. Well, this article just goes on and on, but basically killer whales off the coast of Spain and Portugal are ramming boats, and scientists don't know why, but I got a pretty good hypothesis.
Yeah.
They want that top spot back.
They're coming for us.
They are.
Yeah, you better watch out if you're out doing any maritime sailing.
It says here that they're curious, and it wasn't odd for them to get close to boats. They were just scoping it out.
They're like, we can shake one of these suckers loose. Yeah, it's much bigger than a seal.
Well, have you seen on Discovery Channel when the seals, they'll climb up on like an iceberg and the orcas will jump up and come down and splash and tip it over so they can eat it?
No, yeah.
They're just doing that to people. They're trying to get people.
They know.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine we're tasty.
Yeah.
Especially for an orca.
Right.
If you're used to eating seals all the time, you mix it up a little bit with a human, and not bad. You can't let them get a taste of humans, because then once they get that, you got to put them down.
Well, that's our policy for most animals, all animals, right?
Yeah, right. You eat a human, we got to put you down. Now, in the case of Harambe, they just killed him, and he wasn't even doing anything wrong.
He just got too close.
I mean, that was all the kid's fault. That kid better grow up and be something great. I would like an update on him. Well, somebody in the listening audience figure out what the Harambe kid's doing now.
Right.
It's been 5-6 years.
It's been a little bit.
He's got to be a teenager now.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's not like shoplifting and smoking dope and skateboarding or whatever.
Because we killed
nothing wrong with skateboarding, by the way. I just want to say that, but just to illustrate for the stereotype.
What if this kid's the next Tony Hawk?
He might be.
I think that's absolutely worth a
I
gorilla.
agree. I don't know.
If you can flip, kick, wheelie down a rail.
Nah, you just can't go around killing a gorilla.
No, you just can't go around killing gorillas. But if it means you get the next Tony Hawk, I'd say that,
yeah.
Well,
you know what you can do?
What can you do?
You can mail in your vote There's been a lot of talk about mailing in your votes here.
Not in Alabama, though, right?
I think you could still mail in.
It was absentee
ballot, right? Yeah. Is that not the same thing? I don't understand. I'm voting in person.
Okay, let me put out this disclaimer that I don't know what I'm talking about.
I personally know the Secretary of State of Alabama. I personally know our Secretary of State.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I was under the perception that if you were out of state, you could get an absentee ballot, like say your kid was in school or something in another state. But mail-in ballot was, hey, you get a ballot in the mail, you fill it out, and you send it back.
Send it back.
Right.
Yeah, I thought you could absentee ballot vote even if you were here in the state, you just couldn't vote that day. Let's say you're having surgery or whatever.
Maybe. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, anyways, this is a story from Michigan. And the headline reads, a postcard stamped in 1920 is delivered 100 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that, like 131st class they use?
Well, postcards go slower than regular mail anyway. I don't know if you've mailed a lot of postcards.
I haven't.
When the only time I really have, I mailed one from Hale in Grand Cayman.
Okay.
And it didn't get here until after we got home. But also when I was in South Dakota in 1996, I think, I mailed one to Deidre, and I was back home after the trip for like 2 weeks, and then it showed up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't understand how they process postcards. I don't think it's the same as your regular mail.
I remember when they came out with e-cards that you could just send somebody and they get them in their e-box.
That's right.
Oh, wow, this is so much faster and instant. This is something else that I can just ignore and not send to anybody.
Well, this is from Belding, Michigan. We got a lot of Michigan listeners, so this is up in y'all's land. We've all likely experienced delays with the post office, but probably not like this. A Belding woman said she just got a postcard yesterday that was postmarked 100 years ago. Yeah, that's a little slow.
Did it say something like, Marty, I find myself in 1852. I've made a life for myself as a sheep rancher.
Brittany Keach, who is the person it was delivered to, said it was a little too slow. When she walked to her mail on Tuesday, she had no idea what she was about to find. It was sitting right on top of the mail, she said. It was an old Halloween postcard that was probably lost in the mail. I started looking at it, and I'm like, okay, it's been through some wear and tear. You can see just how old it is. There's a George Washington 1-cent stamp in the corner and a postmark of October 29th, 1920 from Jamestown.
Wow.
Yeah. Brittany talked about the front of the card that fits this time of the year. It shows a witch with a cat and a goose and an owl, and it says, Halloween greetings. Which would you rather be, a goose or a pumpkin head? That must have been some 1920 humor.
It must have been hilarious back in the day.
The writing is old and in cursive and addressed to Roy McQueen on Division Street. The note says, you ready?
I'm ready.
Dear cousins, hope this finds you well.
This just found you dead.
We are quite well, but mother has awful lame knees. It is awful cold here. I just finished my history lesson and I'm going to bed pretty soon. My father is shaving and my mother is telling me your address. I will have to close for a night. Hope Grandma and Grandpa are well. Don't forget to write us. Roy, get his pants fixed yet. Flossie Burgess is who it's from. Which if Dad's shaving at night, Mama's knees may not be too bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. They're not so lame after all.
That's right. Maybe that's why she can't walk right. I don't know. But Brittany posted the letter on the Positively Belding page on Facebook, and it already has more than 100 comments and a dozen shares. She hopes out of all those views, someone can put her in touch with a relative to get it to the family. This might be something that their parents can say, yeah, I remember when your great-great-grandma would tell me stories. Brittany says if she can't find the family, she's going to try and get it put into the museum in Belding. Well, that's a little much. It's just a postcard. We did reach out for the post office for some comment, and a spokesperson told me, in most cases, these incidents do not involve mail that has been lost in our network and later found. What we typically find is that old letters and postcards, sometimes purchased at flea markets, antique shops, and even online, are re-entered into our system. The end result is what we do best. As long as there is a deliverable address and postage, the card or letter gets delivered. So, post office, right here, when all the pressure's about to be on, I was like, no, we didn't make a mistake. Of course, somebody bought this at a flea market and just threw it in the mail.
Right.
As some sort of joke.
It could not have been the mail.
No
just
error on
this
our
letter.
part. No error on our part.
You know what I would love? You said it had a 1 cent George Washington stamp on it. I would love if they would have marked it not enough postage and sent it back to return to center.
Yeah. But the thing is you would think if somebody entered it into the mail system now, it would have an updated postmark on it, right?
Right.
I mean, it was postmarked in 1920. Come on. I mean, anyways, y'all mail your votes in. It's fine. Nothing's going to go wrong with that. Nothing at all.
What if Trump is really just this whole I hate mail-in voting is just a scam because he knows that the post office is just going to
screw him up. He's going to get elected. I mean, really, that may be part of it. Like, what if there's like, like you don't fill it out right and it's disqualified,
right.
Or it doesn't get in by a certain time and you're disqualified.
Check the latest on QAnon. Is this all 4D chess? Trump's
I don't
4D
know.
chess?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean that would be a pretty amazing strategy on his part because he could have came out and said, "I want everybody to mail in vote," and the other side would have been like, "You ain't stopping us from voting. That's voter suppression and everything else."
1, we can protest. 2, we can show up and vote in person.
Exactly.
That's how we're doing it. And then the conservatives would have been like, "No, we need mail-in voting
for everybody's safety." Right. And if you're listening to this and you don't think that would have happened, you are naive beyond belief.
Yes.
You haven't followed American politics very long.
Whatever Trump says, half the country is going to love it, and then half the country is going to hate it. It's the worst thing that could ever have been said.
And there's about 150 people like me and Tiny who are in the middle there,
just kick back and laugh as the world envelops us in flames.
So what's the point in it anyways? Yes. Like, I already know how all this ends. It's fine. Yeah. So anyways, y'all mail your votes in. It'll get there in 100 years.
Well, are you ready for animal attack number 2?
I am.
How about this? This is truly horrifying. Thick clouds of mosquitoes kill livestock after a hurricane.
Okay. I guess those aren't the genetically modified ones.
No, of course not. It couldn't be the genetically modified mosquitoes.
Yeah. Surely they didn't go rogue and are killing livestock.
Yeah. Surely man-made altering in the animal kingdom backfired.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, this comes from ABC, WGNO, and this is Ville Platte, Louisiana? Maybe?
Ville Platte.
Experts in southwest Louisiana say clouds of mosquitoes have been so thick since Hurricane Laura that they are killing cattle and horses.
Oh, wow.
Veterinarian Craig Fortnite of Ville Platte says that the swarms drain animals' blood and animals also become exhausted from constantly moving in an attempt to avoid the biting insects. He estimates that hundreds of cattle and even a few horses have been killed in his 5-parish area. A photo he took shows mosquitoes blanketing a bull's belly.
Now, you want to know an interesting fact?
What's that?
That town is in Evangeline Parish, where
nice,
where Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice was
born.
Right. And I'm giving a lot of shout outs to Brandon because he gave me some Grateful Dead paraphernalia this week. So
some more paraphernalia.
Yeah, right.
All right. It's anyway, just LSU Aug Center agents say that spraying has begun to thin the hordes pushed out of marshes by the storm that made landfall August 26, but it's still a problem. Just imagine a cloud of mosquitoes so thick that they just drain all your blood and you die.
That is
It's
tough.
like swarms of nano vampires coming after you.
Yeah.
But crosses and holy water and sunlight don't work on them.
Man. I would be spraying all my livestock with off immediately. You know? Like, I don't even know if it's good for them, but that's
I would
what
immediately be on the phone and be like, hey, can we get those genetically modified lover?
Or like, y'all bring the bug truck over.
We want some of those Rico Suave mosquitoes.
I wonder if other places in the world have bug trucks that like ride around and just spray some sort of noxious fume out. You know, yes. Like we'd ride our bicycles behind it when we were kids, yeah. Not try to chase it down. I don't get it.
We did that too.
I think it's like a universal Southern thing, right? Yeah. We all just like getting pesticide sprayed all over us. Yeah. Yeah, we'd chase it like it was an ice cream truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I vividly remember doing it. And we've been playing football in the yard where you could hear it coming down the street. Everybody run and get on their bikes and get ready.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember that.
Yeah.
We still get them in our neighborhood. Yeah.
They don't run them through ours. I wish they would, though. Or if they do, I haven't seen it.
Did the HOA put some ban on them or something?
There's a big no soliciting sign right at the front of our thing. Maybe they can't come in either. I don't know.
I know that here in the South, typically during the summers, like there's a lot of bug companies like Terminex or, Cook's Pest Control. They sell like what they call mosquito bonds where they come out there and they'll
spray your yard or whatever.
They'll spray your yard and they'll set up all this stuff and they'll give you a guarantee that you won't have any mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It's really expensive. I've never signed up for it, but every year I hope one of my neighbors will sign up for it. So maybe we'll kind of get some residual effects.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I believe that is fake news on their part.
Right.
Yeah. Because by the time you call them up and be like, hey, I had a mosquito, they're like, well, okay, we'll come out and take care of it. Well, the mosquito's gone, unless you kill it, take a picture of it, whatever.
They just come out and spray again.
Yeah, right. We'll just come out and spray again.
And really they're like whatever they're spraying is probably like Tabasco sauce or something. It's not even like a...
You got to get you some Martin gourds.
That's right. Yeah,
that's how you take care. Everybody in the South knows that.
And also the citronella bushes or whatever.
Right, yeah. And get all your tires out of your yard, get all the water out of them and everything else. Dog dishes, 5-gallon buckets you got filled up with water.
And just sit outside with your wife, not by yourself, so that they attack her.
Yeah. Well, let's move on here to my next story, which is an incredibly long story, and I'm not going to read all of it. I feel like the headline basically takes care of everything for it. It's from Vice News. Amazon says it was not price gouging during the pandemic when it sold toilet paper for $36.
Of course not.
Yeah. No. Amazon and its third-party sellers saddled customers with astronomical price increases on essential products such as toilet paper, face mask, and hand sanitizer after the start of the COVID-19 pandemic earlier this year.
Now, third-party sellers, Amazon's not responsible for what they do, are they? Because
I don't think so.
I'm sure there's probably a little bit of control they have.
Yeah,
you can. No, maybe nobody will buy it, but you can ask whatever you want to on anything, can't you?
I would imagine so.
Right.
The group found this is according to a report that was published by consumer advocacy nonprofit Public Citizen, and the group found that the price of some products deemed essential by existing or proposed state price gouging statutes had increased by many times their initial price on Amazon.com. A package of 50 disposable face masks produced by Lead Pro, for example, were sold on Amazon for $39.99, up from around $4 before the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's a lot.
Now, the site has also recently sold 8-roll packages of Scott toilet paper for as much as $36.39.
Dang.
When other retailers were charging less than $7. Now, Scott toilet paper is like...
That's like wiping with sandpaper.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't the greatest stuff. It ain't $36 worth,
It's better than using gravel.
So there are currently 36 states that, plus D.C. that have price gouging statutes on the books. The statutes vary, however, with some states like Arkansas, California, and Delaware lifting price increases by 10% and or limiting price increases by 10%, and others like Kansas that set a threshold as high as 25%. So if you've got a business, you need to set up shop in Kansas, you can get a little bit more. Additionally, the report found that prices of 10 essential products, including hand sanitizer, soap, toilet paper, flour, and rice sold by third-party sellers on Amazon.com, exploded when compared to their pre-pandemic costs.
These are the preppers.
The cost of a 10-pound bag of flour, for example, went from $6.27 to $59.99.
Man.
An increase of 941%. The company says it uses technology to detect price gouging. As we have said, there is no place for price gouging on Amazon, and Amazon includes products offered directly by Amazon that are included in the no price gouging, according to an Amazon spokesperson. Like they're going to say anything different.
Right.
It says they go on to say our systems are designed to meet and beat the best available price amongst our competitors, and if we see an error, we quickly work to fix it. Our teams continue to monitor our store 24/7 and have already removed over 1 million offers. So I'm not going to read the rest of this because it's just a bunch of boring nerd talk.
This is just, hey, what's up with toilet paper?
Yeah.
Selling for these crazy, outrageous prices. And then Amazon is like, wasn't us.
Yeah, right. No, it wasn't us.
There is no overpriced toilet paper.
What are you talking about?
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, I think that, Bezos could have just given us all some toilet paper and it still would have been fine.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have made any profit if he did that, though.
But, I mean, he still would have been fine. He could take a loss,
Right.
There are people that can take a loss and still be okay. Yeah, and he could have. But
let's briefly talk about something else.
Okay.
This kind of goes along with what we're talking about. Is it just me, or is 2-day Prime shipping not really so much a thing anymore?
I have no idea how any of that works. If you think I'm shopping on Amazon, you've got the wrong guy. Now, Deidre does, but
Okay.
I don't. Have no idea how it works.
I ordered another pair of like headphones, I think last Thursday.
Okay.
And now this isn't this past Thursday, but the one before.
Right.
They were supposed to be there Tuesday because Monday was Labor Day.
Right.
Which is,
It's a holiday.
it's a holiday.
Are they coming
I
through
get it.
USPS, the Postal Service?
I was at work. I don't know how they got there.
Yeah.
But I will say that they didn't show up until Thursday. That's a week. That
whole
ain't
week.
2 days. That's a week, my friend.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah, I don't know how all that works.
Mhm.
I know that Deidre orders stuff for me from some. Like I was like, hey, I need a frame for this poster that Brandon gave me.
right.
And she was like, okay, I'll get on Amazon and find one. And then it just shows up one day. I have no idea about the lead time or anything else. So I'm a child. I need someone to take care of me. Hey, mommy, I need a frame for this.
I just got to be honest. I mean, $160 a year sounds reasonable, but if my stuff's not getting there in 2 days, I don't know why.
You don't know why you're
should
paying
I
for
pay
it?
for that in 2021?
Because you get TV with it.
Yeah, but I don't.
And you can watch old episodes of Monk.
I've never seen a single episode of Monk.
Oh, Monk's a great show.
Might-
Hudson has gotten hooked on it. So.
It might be a great show.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pay $160 to watch it.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. I don't. We're rich now, so I don't even care. We actually use Deidre's mom's Prime account, so we don't even pay for it. We just recently got our own Netflix account. I think Andrew changed the password because like every kid in my house is using it and probably locking them out.
I like to think Andrew canceled it, and John's like, dang it.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. But yeah, one day we just all went to watch Netflix and it wasn't working anymore. Deidre's like, well, I guess I changed the password. And so we had to buy our own.
You didn't try texting him and asking him, hey, did y'all change the password?
We rode that coattails for years. And so I decided it wasn't worth it. I was just like, how much is it? $15 a month. Let's do it.
I tell you what, me and Tara, we had to change the password on ours, and we got text later that day.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
From my brother-in-law and my brother. Hey, what's the new password? I had to send out a mass text. New password is 1234.
I'd have been like, look, the new password's $7,
Yeah.
a month. We were changing it on the 1st of every month. That's why I was like, man, that's fine. I thought about getting on Facebook and be like, anybody got a Netflix password I can have? Because I am a cheapskate, but I was like, then everybody will know I'm a cheapskate, so I decided not to.
I will say that me and Tara, we're not solely providers. Like my brother, he's got some streaming services that he lets us mooch off of.
Okay.
And we were talking the other day. I was like, we should all come together as a secret cabal where we pay the absolute minimum.
Right, yeah.
And we all share passwords.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I was just like, we would get on sometimes before when we could still get on Andrew's account, and it'd be like, too many devices are using this or whatever.
Right. And so you just got to wait.
Yeah. And so,
like, hey, when you going to work, Andrew?
But I would imagine if I was footing the bill and I was getting on at my house and it was like too many devices are on and that happened twice, I'd be like, nope, no more. Nobody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all ain't got no money in this. I'm cutting all of you off.
I want to say, now don't quote me on this, but if I'm not mistaken, Disney Plus, they'll let you use it on 10 devices.
Oh, yeah?
Which means 10 people could hypothetically split a Disney Plus membership.
Wow, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I heard Mulan's coming out at some point in time.
At some point, well, it's out now if you're willing to pay $30.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to wait
that?
on it.
What kind of weirdos doing that?
To tell you
like
the
those
truth,
Disney-obsessed people will do it.
Yes.
But, yeah, normal people aren't.
Of the... they've done what, four or five remake, like modern day, like they was
Lion King.
They did Lion King, they did Aladdin,
they did Beauty and the Beast,
and that's what started it. And then they also did Dumbo.
Yeah.
Of all those, I thought Aladdin was okay, but I really didn't like the other ones.
Aladdin is the only one I've seen.
Okay, well, you know what? You can probably
it's the
stop
best.
there.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah,
and we only saw that one because Libby wanted to see it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like into Disney.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea, but I think if they're going to keep doing this, like I think they're working on like the Little Mermaid and stuff.
Yeah,
I think they just need to clean slate new music.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's these other movies. It's like this exact same movie we've seen before,
just with people.
Now we got actors.
Yeah,
I mean, the Lion King to me was almost like a shot for shot remake.
Wow,
that's just my opinion.
Just with real animals.
Well, real fake animals.
Okay. So they didn't have like a real lion.
Also, when you look at a lion or a warthog or a meerkat, they don't really emote with their faces too well.
No.
I don't think it's a good idea to try to make real realistic CGI animals emote. It looked very awkward to me personally.
Yeah.
So
I have only seen the original Lion King once. So I don't even remember that much about it.
Okay.
Yeah. People like talk about the Lion King. I'm like, yeah, I remember like he stood up on a rock and held Simba up and that's about it. And there was like a bad guy.
5 minutes of the movie.
There was a bad guy named Scar.
Yeah.
And I got that much down. Yeah. I only watched it. And that was like back when it came out. I think Deidre and I went to the movies and watched it one time.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably made out the whole time.
So you weren't even really watching it then.
She couldn't keep her hands off of me.
Speaking of animals that can't emote.
Okay.
There's a tiger currently on the loose in Knoxville.
I have heard about it. Shout out to Paul West, who lives in Knoxville.
Now, this is an update story.
Okay.
So this tiger's been floating around for a while now, but there's been some 911 calls coming in, and there was this one lady that thought they saw it in her backyard.
Okay.
So anyway, this comes from WRCB TV, Channel 3 in Knoxville. It just says... update. I've spotted a tiger in my backyard. 911 calls reveal tiger tracks in Knoxville.
All right.
If you're seeing stripes around the Asbury neighborhood, you are not alone. At least 4 people reported a tiger of unknown origin prowling East Knoxville. A Knox County deputy was the first to spot and call in what he believed was a tiger cub in the Forks of the River Industrial Park in East Knoxville Wednesday night around 7:30. I'm out here with a tiger cub. It says.
Well, a tiger cub's not as intimidating now.
No.
Yeah.
It's actually, now I kind of want to go find it so I can keep it.
Slowly turn into Joe Exotic.
Tiny Exotic.
You have like an eyebrow ring and a mullet. Yeah. I love it.
Do what? The 911 center responded. You heard right. It's a tiger cub.
You know you're in the South when the 911 operator goes, do what?
He says, you heard that right. It's a tiger cub. It might be a TWRA call, he said. I don't know how to judge the age of the tiger cub, but it's probably around 4 to 6 month range. He wasn't the only one in the industrial park to see
He was like, I don't know how to age this tiger cub, but I think it's 4 to 6 months.
It sounds like something I would say. Yeah, right. Look, I don't know what I'm talking about, but my guess would be 4 to 6 months. He wasn't the only one in the park to see it. Right as the Knox County Sheriff's Office let the cat out of the bag to the public, another woman called 911 just after midnight. She told them her friend who worked at the pilot station off Governor John Sevier Highway told her someone else sighted a tiger hanging around the Green Mountain Coffee Roasters plant in the industrial park. Thankfully, I'm staying with my boyfriend in Sevierville, she told the 911 operator.
She's heading up to Dollywood.
Yeah. Overnight, dispatch reports showed the search for the elusive tiger cub was well underway. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency had set up traps, and Knox County Air Watch took to the skies to light up the area to help search for it. When daylight broke Thursday morning, another 911 call arrived just after 7 a.m. from a woman who lived off Thorn Grove Pike. Her message got right to the point. I think I spotted a tiger in my backyard. The woman said that she saw the tiger running across the yard back toward John Sevier Highway. A boy that had been walking his dog near Eastwood Baptist Church called 911 at about an hour and a half later. He spotted it too, and he hurried back home with his dog, probably calmer than most would be after having spotted a tiger prowling their neighborhood. I don't want it to attack me or anything, he told 911 operators.
I agree. It's only 4 or 6 months old, though.
Who wants to be attacked by a tiger? All of the calls about the tiger were from the same general area of Knox County surrounding the industrial park and John Sevier Highway. These sightings, however, remain unconfirmed until the Knoxville tiger is actually found. Where this mysterious young tiger could have come from, if it turns out to actually be a tiger, is completely unknown. Zoo Knoxville and Tiger Haven both said that they've counted their big cats, and all of them are accounted for.
That's what I'd say, too, if I had one loose. Nope, got every one of them here. Nope.
Present and accounted for.
Nobody left the cage open. No, we're good. Y'all don't even come by.
Tiger Haven is currently helping animal control and the TWRA search for the elusive cub.
Well, if there was ever a time to free Joe Exotic, this is it.
We need him.
We need him right now. You know?
Yes. What about Carol Baskins?
Oh, no. I'm done with Carol. Once I put her on Instagram, I'm done with her.
Well, now she's going to be on Dancing with the
That's
Stars.
True.
So
I know.
You're not completely done.
I'll watch. In my mind, I feel like that this is just some hillbilly, that has painted like their dog like a tiger and it's done got loose or something. Right. And people are just catching a glimpse of it going, I see a tiger. But also a 4 or 6 month tiger in my mind would be something that I wouldn't mind wrestling with. I feel like I could probably at least subdue it until the law got there or whatever. I don't know though. I don't know what a 4 to 6 month tiger looks like.
If only there was a way.
No, just let me keep rolling with it. Gotcha. I don't want to dash my hopes of saving Knoxville. Anyways, well, more excitement in Knoxville than their Tennessee football teams provided in a long time.
Ouch.
Yeah, maybe they'll catch it. I don't know. What if it just ends up being just a loose tiger? You see some pets go missing real quick.
I was about to say, we had a python on the loose in Tuscaloosa.
That's true. We did
last year.
Everybody just forgot about it.
Yeah, well, we assumed the cold weather may have killed it. So
you think so?
Well, I don't know.
Do they hibernate? Snakes hibernate, right?
Yeah. But pythons, they usually live in areas where they don't need to hibernate, don't they?
Yeah, but don't you think they all reptiles work the same?
He's getting out his old Snake Scouts handbook. how to hibernate.
I think that if you're cold blooded, you just know, right?
I don't know.
I don't really know either. I have no idea.
What was it? We had the story about the alligators that were freezing in the lake.
Yeah. And
they would stick their snout just out above the water, and they would they would survive.
Froze. Yeah, right.
They would warm up. They would swim.
Yeah, they keep on coming. Yeah. See, I don't want to sound like a wildlife biologist here, but I think any snake can hibernate if it gets cold. I'm just going to declare that right now until somebody tells me I'm wrong.
You know what? I think we should test this. I think we should go out and we should collect as many snakes as we can find.
Well, we're going to have to go
one by one we freeze them and see if they survive.
Any snake we catch around here, though, is going to be used to our climate. So we got to get a snake. We got to
go get like an anaconda.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, let's me, you, and Ice Cube go get an anaconda.
Can a third eagle come?
Sure, right. We'll get an anaconda and try it.
Yeah.
To stick that bad boy in a chest freezer out in somebody's garage for a little while.
Oh, man. We're going to if it's an anaconda, we're going to have to go to the nearest Walmart and use their freezer.
That depends on how big, right?
Yeah.
Well, my anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hon. Which brings us to our next story about the Ole Miss Rebel Bears land sharks.
Rebel Bear land shark.
This comes from Saturday Down South, okay, which is a college football, college sports centric site. And the headline reads, Ole Miss accidentally puts porn star on cups honoring healthcare worker. When you do an image search for doctors and nurses, you have to be careful, as those are popular costumes to dress up in for more, well, adult pursuits.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they just got a naughty nurse outfit.
It's a very popular costume.
Boy, on every once in a while.
You see those at Spirit Halloween every year.
Ole Miss learned the lesson the hard way on Thursday when it was revealed they had made a huge mistake when trying to honor healthcare workers who had bravely fought the COVID-19 pandemic. As Twitter users noted, Ole Miss featured a picture of porn star Johnny Sins. Now, I'm not familiar with him, but Tiny was telling me he loves his work. On a cup meant to feature pictures of healthcare workers.
I thought he was a healthcare worker. I didn't know he did that. That must be something he does on the side.
Well, yes, Sins is dressed as a doctor, but that was for one of his scenes, presumably, which I would have to confirm. I have no idea.
I'm assuming he played a proctologist.
It's likely these cups won't be handed out at games. What an unbelievable mistake by the Rebels. That's 2020 for you. So that's how the article ends.
Right.
Ole Miss got roasted really good online by everyone.
Which I will say in their defense, I looked at a picture of the Cubs, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a whole bunch of tiny pictures.
Yeah.
Like Hollywood Squares or something.
Right, yeah,
you know?
Yeah, they were all.
And so it's like one face out of 100 that's like him. It's really interesting that whoever found this was actually able to determine.
So I clicked on the tweet it was talking about, and it has Johnny Sins in his Wikipedia. But
he looks very professional.
He does. His real name is Stephen Wolf. Why would you not just keep that? Yeah,
let's say.
He's 41 years old. He's 6 foot tall.
His mama and daddy, they intended for him to be an adult actor when he grew up. If they named him that.
The only movie they list on this screenshot of his Wikipedia is "It's a Mommy Thing," which fits in with the SEC just right. Yeah. Yeah. So one time, my dad's grocery store, there is a Sugar Smacks cereal. If you're from in the U.S., you probably know what Smacks cereal is. It's got the frog.
The frog, yeah.
Well, somebody had photoshopped online. You could look it up, and it's like the frog. It's like Smack, and instead of saying Smacks, it says Smack.
And it's a drug.
And he's like shooting up with a needle. The frog's like shooting up with a needle, and the bowl's like full of like pills or something.
Right.
Well, Dad's grocery store ran an ad, and that was what they used for the Smacks that were on sale that week. And it was like the advertiser's fault. They just Googled it and pulled it off and weren't paying attention. But so Ole Miss got themselves in the same situation.
Once again, that 17-year-old intern that you're giving him all this work and not double checking.
Yes. Now, Kyle Campbell, a friend of mine, rode the bus together forever, graduated high school with. He's like associate athletic director over at Ole Miss. I need to hit him up and be like, hey, bro, can I have one of those?
Are y'all going to use those or y'all going to throw them away?
Yeah, if y'all dispose of all those, you send them to like a country that needs cups or something,
If you could get just a few of those cups, that might become a collector's item.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, years down the road, that might be worth some money.
Probably not much, but a little.
Yeah. Well, if he gives them to me for free, it'd be fine.
I've got a Coke bottle with Bear Bryant on it.
Everybody in the state who's an Alabama fan has a Coke bottle with Bear Bryant on it. Yeah. And if you're an Auburn fan, you got the Auburn one too, which I don't think has Pat Dye on it.
I didn't even know
I could be wrong. I think it's just got the Auburn logo on it. Yeah. Yeah, they got Tennessee ones. Yeah, that wasn't exclusive. Coke ain't just singling out one fan base.
Well, daggone. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me Santa Claus ain't real.
There's probably an Arkansas one with Frank Broyles on it and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Is there like a Notre Dame one with Sean Astin as Rudy on it?
I don't know. I heard an interview with Joe Montana, and he was talking about Rudy, and he was like, like every time I see Rudy, because he was on the team, he was a quarterback when Rudy was on the team. He was like, every time I see Rudy, we kind of laugh about how crazy the movie is, compared to real life. Yeah. And it was like, Rudy did get carried off the field, but it was by the two biggest jokesters on the team who were just goofing off with him. It wasn't like nobody in the crowd was like chanting Rudy or anything when he got in. And he's like, I love Rudy. He's a great guy. And he knows it, and I know it too. It's Hollywood. He was like, but I don't. Every time we bump into each other, it's always a big laugh. And Rudy was offsides. Everybody knows that too. If you watch the tape, he was offsides. Let's move on to something I've talked about a few times in the show, and that's Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. And I want to just say, Brandon brought me all kind of Grateful Dead stuff this week, and I appreciate it. Yeah. And that has nothing to do with the podcast and everything to do with my love for the Grateful Dead. So, nice. But we want to shout out Cajun Curl, world famous Bayou Blended Spice, for their support. And we want to thank them for all the support they give us. Check them out at CajunCurl.com. You can order their spice and their Cajun Curl cutter for potatoes right there on CajunCurl.com. It was created on the mosquito-infested Elm Bayou in Evangeline Parish, Louisiana. It is the seasoning that goes on everything. If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice goes well with chicken, beef, pork, potatoes, mosquito slaughtered livestock of any variety, and anything else you can think of putting it on. A spiral potato cutter, their spiral potato cutter, is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use, easy to clean, and it will allow you to make your own chips using the Cajun Curl spice. If you want to turn your next cookout or event up a notch, imagine whipping up a batch of homemade potato chips. Your next door neighbor isn't going to be able to top that. And let me tell you, the homemade chips with Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice on them will change your life. On the website, CajunCurl.com, you can not only order the original Bayou Blended Spice, but the Cajun Curl chip cutter as well. You'll also find recipes that are absolutely mind-blowing. You can locate your nearest retailer or order your own. If your local grocer doesn't carry world-famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, ask them to start stocking it now. All of their products are made in the USA, so not only do you enjoy the taste of Cajun Curl, but you also feel patriotic while you enjoy your meal. It's all natural, it's low salt, and it has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat. Check them out at CajunCurl.com and use the promo code EOP10 to get a 10% discount.
Because we ask that you use the spice, but we don't ask you pay full price.
That's right.
Also, I would just like to say for the record that I like video games.
Yeah.
And I like pocket knives. Just in case.
Just in case he runs across some.
In case somebody listening to this who likes to advertise ever comes across anything like that.
Yeah. I got you.
Oh, man. Well, what do you say we go to the phones?
Let's do it.
We have one message, and it's from our good friend / your Canadian sister.
All right.
Jacqueline.
Hey, John and Tiny, it's Jacqueline. I just realized you guys have been calling me Jackie B, which, okay, cool, but I've never let anyone call me Jackie, and I don't know why I've been putting up with it for a while, but it's okay, I feel like you guys, it's okay, but no one else in the world is allowed to call me Jackie.
She's been putting up with it because she didn't know.
That's wild. How insensitive, Tiny. Wow.
I remember how that started. It started when she didn't want us to say her last name, and we were wondering like what we could call her.
Yeah.
I think I've erased it now, but I think she had a message where she was like, "Yeah, I'm not too worried about it." I think you're actually the one that said Jackie B.
Good man.
So,
Jackie Blue's a really good song by the Ozark Mountain Daredevils or whatever. You know that song? We should play that when she plays. I don't want to get like ASCAP and BMI and everybody mad at us, but that'd be an awesome bed music for it.
But I apologize.
Yeah, I'd
rectify my mistake.
I'll make no apologies at all.
John's not sorry.
I'm not sorry one bit. People have called me Long John my whole life, and so I have no sympathy for anybody else.
Anyway, great show again. I was going to start by asking if you guys wanted to buy some egg rolls, but I feel like it's been played out a little bit much. Talking about Halloween costumes for like Christian, I don't know what your fall festival is, but we have Halloween up here. And so a great couple costume would be Samson and Delilah, I think. That would be awesome.
That would be
pretty good. Tiny used to have long hair. That would have been great. You know?
I did used to have long hair.
Tiny had a beautiful mane of hair, and for some reason just cut it all off.
Well, it's because I married Delilah. That's why.
She just took your streak. Now you got to get the ass of the jawbone ass of an ass. There you go, kill a bunch of Philistines. Yeah.
My wife told me I needed daddy hair.
Okay, so daddy hair.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
I would have long hair if it weren't for my profession. You know, my hair will still get long kind of still anyways. Yeah.
Anyway, the banter and the odd news. I love the banter. I love the odd news. What I love the best is when the odd news becomes banter. Like how you guys end up starting to talk about a jetpack and end up talking about the Illuminati. It just, it flows organically and it's really nice. You were talking about Secret Santa stuff. I was thinking, I know on Reddit the users do like a Secret Santa swap once a year. What if you guys did like an Earth Oddity Secret Santa swap where people that are either on the Facebook group or on the Patreon or whatever can do like a secret swap for Christmas this year? I think that'd be kind of cool and I would sign up. And finally, Pope Francis today, my Pope, and I'm going to share this article on the Facebook page, but he came out with an article today that says, the pleasures of food and sex are simply divine. And he says, pleasure arrives directly from God. It is neither Catholic nor Christian nor anything else. It is simply divine. So, another reason that you guys may want to jump ship a little bit, maybe. Anyway, talk to you later. It was a great show, and I can't wait till next week. Bye.
All right.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I question how he knows that, but he's definitely on point.
Yeah, no, yeah. They're both great.
Yes.
And yeah, the Secret Santa idea is that's a great idea.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to be in charge of it in any way, it's a really great idea.
Yes, I know what Secret Santa is, but now I've never had to organize one.
Yeah, me either.
Let me do some Googling.
I don't even. What we need to do is find a loyal listener who will head this up among listeners. You and I don't need to participate.
Right. We expect a gift from all y'all anyway.
Yeah, right. Y'all should just send us all just whatever. Yeah, this is just among the listeners, right? Yeah. Like the Reddit moderator's not doing it. Like the guy who founded Reddit's not participating in the Secret Santa.
Well, the guy who founded Reddit is probably rich enough he just gets anything he wants.
Yeah, anyway. Exactly. And we're on our way to being that rich.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I recently purchased my own Netflix subscription, so things are looking up. Things are looking up at the Long household. Yeah. Yeah, so sorry about that, Jacqueline, for calling you Jackie. I really am. I was just being facetious. And I don't know about the Pope knowing what sex feels like, but
he's on point.
Yeah.
He has been correctly briefed on the situation.
The celibacy of the cloth in the Catholic Church is one of the things I've never really understood. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get like their reasoning behind, like they're basically married to the church,
right?
You know,
which I mean, it is biblical.
Yeah,
you know, Christ Himself did say that single people their allegiance isn't divided, and
right?
They can do a lot for the kingdom,
right? No, yeah,
but you know,
on a practical,
that's what I say in Protestant circles, I think the reason we didn't retain that is because Jesus did say that not every man can say this about himself,
right? And
it does lead to a host of other problems. So
yeah, well, you know,
if someone is called to that, good on them.
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah, I got no problem with anybody
I salute
doing it.
You,
yeah,
sir.
Better man than I am.
Yes,
yeah. I spent a while celibate, so I know how. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. We got anything else? Emails?
Yes. I'm glad you said that.
We do have an email.
You were asking last week about Monica.
Monica, yeah.
Saying we haven't heard from her. We got an email this week. Now, she just says, hey, guys, I'm still listening. with heart emojis and a winky face from Ontario, Canada.
Great.
But thank you so much.
Monica.
How you doing?
Hanging in there. Longer than I anticipated that you would. Yeah, or expected you would.
Great to hear from you.
Really, all of our listeners.
Absolutely,
yeah. I would think maybe Bradley and my mom are probably the only ones that have been with us since episode 1 on through and hadn't dropped out at some point in time. So bless their hearts. But
my brother, he'll get busy and he'll fall behind.
Yeah.
But then,
he's listener number 1, though.
He'll pick it back up.
Like if we were numbering the listeners, I would say Bradley's number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, I don't know about you. I would like to thank our patrons.
Yeah.
But I would especially by name love to thank those who donate at the 10 or above tier. And they are Mr. Daniel Hedrick, Mr. James White, Ms. Jane Updegraff, Ms. Sherry Herron, Mr. Thomas Williams, the Dapper Man, Ms. Sharon Craig, Mr. Tyler Bond, Mr. Todd Glover, Mr. Derek Reeves, Mr. Chris Tipton, Ms. Jacqueline B., Mr. J.D. Westfall, and Mr. Mike W., a.k.a. McWill. We thank you all so much for donating to the show.
Yeah. Thank you to all of our listeners, even those who can't donate for whatever reason, don't feel compelled to, don't think it's worth it,
I get it.
I listen to the show every week. I get it, So,
but we're not going to get better if you don't give us money.
So, but like we always say, just tell somebody about us. That's all you got to do. And maybe they'll like us, maybe they'll hate us, but either way, they'll listen to us at least once.
I'll tell you what, if you are one of those poor, burdened souls that just has too much money, you can head on over to patreon.com/earthoddity and you can sign up. We have several different tiers.
Yeah.
But if you sign up at the $5 level, like my old buddy from high school, Chris, this past week. What's up, Chris?
Crick Wheel. Yeah. Oh, Crick Wheel. Great Facebook group contributor.
Yes, absolutely.
Funny, on point, topical. He's one of my faves in there. Yeah.
You sign up at the $5 level and you get an extended show every single week. And then once a month, you get an all-exclusive patrons-only episode.
Yeah.
It's $5.
Yeah.
You can't buy a Happy Meal for $5.
No. That's all you got to do. Just lay off. That's one trip to McDonald's you don't have to make during the week to get a little bit more oddity in your life.
And that makes your super heavy, burdensome wallet $5 lighter.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. An hour's heavier.
Yes. We're taking on that burden for you.
We will take, as we should do as Christians, take on our brother's burden. Yes. That's just what we're trying to do. Money's the root of all evil out there. Right. And the best way to get rid of it is to join our Patreon.
Yes. The Lord said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven.
That's right.
You don't want us to go to heaven.
We'll just be taking up room at the table,
You don't want us sitting at y'all's table.
Rednecking the joint up there. They don't. Yeah. So if you want to be a good Christian, you join the Patreon. Basically, we're veering strong into Olstein territory here. We're Kenneth Copeland land. Yeah. What was the guy? Oral Roberts, like back in the 80s, was like, if the church, the Lord told me if the church doesn't raise like $10,000, he's calling me home, or whatever.
Did the church do it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure that was the reason the Lord didn't call him home.
Exactly. I would like to think if he got to heaven, which hopefully he did. He was probably a believer, just a little misguided in a way. Could be in hell either way. If there was a long conversation where I was like, look, man, don't be tossing my name around like that. Hey, what
I didn't tell you that.
Yeah, I didn't care you needed an expansion on your house. That's not my deal here. Yeah.
Everything I said, I had it dictated, okay?
Right, yeah.
People can read it for themselves.
They can all read it. We even put it in red letters. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you can distinguish.
Yeah, just so you know. That's what I tell like people when they're like, well, I don't really, the Bible and all that. It's a bunch of sheep herders wrote this like, yes. 5,000 years ago. And I'm like, well, look, just give it a try. Read it. All you got to really do is read the red letters, Yeah. Just start off there and then we'll work our way on down after that.
Also, is it not kind of amazing that a bunch of sheep herders wrote a book that has been sold more than any other book ever in the entire history of the world?
Yeah, it did a really good job keeping plot lines across generations, of authors.
I mean, it's hard for writers to keep plot lines across 20 films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that was Talking Sunday School with John and Tiny.
Yes. You got anything else?
No, well, I got a really spicy story for the Patreon.
Nice. I got a spicy story myself. My old buddy Chris, he shared our show post this last week, and he said these two guys are Baptists, so they talk when they what was it? How did he term it? It really cracked me up. He said something about like they only get blue collar when they think no one's listening to them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
That's right. None of anybody in our church listens.
Yes.
Yeah. The day we get called into your father-in-law's office will be the day we have to stop.
The day we go to Valley View.
Then we record a podcast that afternoon. Like, this is our final podcast, guys. The preacher's told us he's listened to an episode. Now we got to stop.
That's the day we become progressive Christians.
We got to join the Unitarian Church. Well, as anything goes. Yeah, that's where I want to be.
We're Christian in name only. You have been listening to Earth Oddity, and we thank you so much for listening to us, no matter where you get us, whether you get us from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, CastBox, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on them all. If you would like to tweet at us, we are @_Earth Oddity on Twitter. If you would like to
follow the Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, the amazing Instagram.
It is _Earth Oddity on Instagram.
That's right.
Email into the show. If you would like to email like Monica did. We did all this at the front of the show. It's messed me up.
Messed you up.
If you would like to email into the show, we are earthoddity@planetmail.net. But the best way to get in touch with us is a phone number, or at least I think we have a phone number.
We have a phone
What's
number.
That phone number?
It's 662-493-2059. That's 662-493-2059.
We hope everyone out there has a pretty good, excellent week.
That's right.
Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a very odd production. Thanks for listening.